Hi, I'm Thrifty Tim. Uh, it's and this is uh, mid the March Mystery Madness midweek midday live stream where we talk about how, how we talk about our mysteries, especially those that you've been reading for March Mystery Madness. Uh, right now, I see that don't see anybody on right yet at the moment, but yeah, I've been getting some reading done this this past week. I did finish two books in the past week. Both of them are on my from my Kindle. The first one was Crime of the Boulevard by James Clarietti or something like that. I can't remember last name, but he's French, and it was in the late 1800s, and it's about uh, uh, in the Paris area. The guy that is found murdered by pretty much his landlady, and then because lived uh, he was lived in the apartment above them, and well, anyway, and it's and the landlady's husband, she goes tells him, and she tells him to go get the police. Well, instead of the usual the ones that people would usually go to, he goes to um, one where goes to like a detective uh, that uh, he goes to a detective that he's done some tailoring for, and from there on, it's pretty much following the detective and magistrate working together finding who killed this guy. Because that seemed like nobody really knew him in the area, uh, and so and they have the investigation going and stuff, and this detective said, yeah, he had read about how like in the like 40 years before that, how they could do like photography before it was actually on cameras. They could. Somebody had said that they could see uh, see so the last thing they saw. It's pretty much imprinted on their cornea, and so he so he talked to the magistrate about that, and he said that, and he talked to the magistrate into them trying it out because this was because now he had a camera. This was had a camera. Of course, it's on them from back at the time, with the plates that you slide in and stuff. Well, anyway, so they did see a picture of it. They see a guy on there, and so now they have an idea of who to look for. And when they find a guy that matches that, he said, "Hey, he wasn't the last time he saw the guy. He was still alive." And and it's and it goes on from there about, and it turns out that picture that they had gotten did help out, I uh, but I won't say any more about it. I don't want to don't want to ruin it for anybody. It's like uh, uh, like I said, it's the name of the book is The Crime of the Boulevard. Okay, and the second one I finished was uh, the uh, the lost the lost pocket diary found in the snow, and it's by Augusta. Starts out with a Krone or something like that. I can't remember, but this was in Austria. It takes place in Austria, and it was originally written in German, and it's about it's ended up being a short story about man is walking home. It was after dark. It was he was walking home from work. He had just been fired, and he was walking home. All of a sudden, he started seeing something on the ground that looked like blood, drops of blood, and so he started following it. And next thing he knew he found this a pocket diary on the ground, and yeah, this is all in like the first chapter, and so he goes running to the police station. He looked in the pocket diary, and then he runs to the police station, and because he looked in the pocket diary, and there was something in there that was written about how I was murdered, and so uh, uh, and so he goes and detective that gets his and it takes him out with him to show him where he found it, and he said, "Yeah, if this everything works out, I might be able to get you a position uh, doing this for the police department." And it t- so it follows them around with their investigations, and that yes, this other guy gets hired and stuff, and that's that one. So those are the two I got done there, and for but then I for with the what I was reading on my tablet, I I was reading started reading Crime and Punishment, but it's a longer book. Uh, but So what I did is I loaded the ebook onto here off of LibriVox, which is pretty much like the Project Gutenberg for ebooks, and and I'm a few chapters in on it now, and it's pretty good so far. And also, what I've started up since then on my Nook is okay. Okay, I only got a chapter in on it, but it's. Let me get back to the. Is uh, okay, this is Margaret Agnes Fleming. She was a Canadian author. Okay, I'm trying to get it. Let me try something here. I'm trying to get it so I don't have as much glare. Okay, Margaret Agnes Fleming, and book title is okay. The book title is Sharing Her Crime, and it's from 1882. This is a Canadian uh, author, so that's one to have written by an author from a different country, and I'm in chapter 2 of it. Let me get back to that. Okay. Yeah, I'm into chapter 2 about, and it's about so far uh, a wealthy woman is talking with her doctor, and this is on a Christmas Eve, and uh, she asked her doctor uh, if he'd do something for her for $1,000, and he asked what it is, and she said, "Kill a woman and her child." And he's saying, "Are you pretty much? Are you crazy?" She said, "That's." But she said, "I know how you lust for money and stuff," and so that's all the further I know so far. But it looks like it will be an interesting story. This one will take a little longer to read than the other two that I finished because there's more pages in it, like about double the two together. So that's what I've been reading. Okay, I was hoping somebody would be coming up soon. Okay, and something else I found. I did find I had misplaced. I think I mentioned last week that I misplaced my Kindle. Well, I found it now. Found it just the other day, and I'll show you what. Okay, I'm about waiting for it to come, for it to open. Okay, it's taking a little while, but on here I'm reading English, British mysteries. Um, it's it's okay. Oh, now I have two up here. Well, with this, I'm waiting for this to finish coming up. But and this is okay. Now it's up here. So just need to see what page am I on here. Okay, because I'll show you. because this book is come on now. Wait, cover. Here's a book. It's something I got for a pretty good price. That's British murder mysteries. There's over 350 stories in here, and it starts off without Arthur Conan Doyle ones on here. Let's see, I'm over 2,300 pages in on this, and I'm still into Arthur Conan Doyle. I read all the Sherlock Holmes stuff. I've been reading the other bit like the other mystery stories or mystery short stories, and it went to the wrong one there for me. But I'm reading Round the Fire of Stories is the name of the one I'm on now. Right there. So this is what I'm on now. Round the Fire of Stories by Arthur Conan Doyle. And so I'll be reading this year round till I finish all those in it. Then I'll find something else to read on there. Okay, I'm okay. Trying to think of what I can have. Well, okay, I guess I could pull some more books out the shelves to show people to see if anybody comes up. Okay, one is by Joseph Wambaugh. This is Echoes in the Darkness. I'll just read a little bit of the blurb on here. It's the main line west of Philadelphia is studded with estates and mansions, along with prep schools, academies, and famous universities. It is also steeped in colonial history with a strong flavor of Gothic, and nothing could be more Gothic than the mainline murder case. A true story to rival Joseph Wambaugh's most bizarre fiction. So this is based on a true story, this one here, and true crime is also qualifies for March Mystery Madness. So, and so there's that one. See, a lot of my books are more thrillers than the mysteries, but I read both now. Now, here's one by Alexander Soderbergh. This is the Andalusian Friend, and I'll read some from the blurb from that. When Sophie Brinkman, nurse, widow, single mother, meets Hector Guzman, her life is eventful. She likes his quiet charm and easy smile, She likes the way he welcomes her into his family. She quickly learns, though, that his smooth facade masks something sinister. Okay, and Guzman is the head of a powerful international crime family with the reach into drugs and weapons that extends from Europe to South America. Its interests are under siege by a ruthless German syndicate that will stop at nothing to stake its claim. But the Guzmans are fighters and will go to war to protect what's rightfully theirs. The conflict quickly escalates into a deadly turf war between the rival organizations, which includes itinerant, itinerant arms dealer, a deeply disturbed detective, a vicious hitman, and a wily police chief. Sophie, too, is unwittingly caught in the middle. She must summon everything within her to navigate this intricate web of moral ambiguity, deadly obsession, and craven gamesmanship. Uh, the Andalusian Friend is a powerhouse of a novel, turbocharged, action-packed, highly sophisticated, and epic in scope, and announces Alexander Soderbergh as the most exciting new voice in thrillers in a generation. Okay. I'm just trying to find some within my reach. Okay. Okay. Oh, there's an Elizabeth George. I just noticed it. Book in the Inspector Lindley series. I have started watching the series on BritBox. My wife and I both like it, and this one will be easier for me to read because it's large print. So, and let me read the blurb on the back. Inspector Lindley is sent undercover to investigate the death of Ian Cresswell at the request of the man's uncle, the wealthy and influential Bernard Fairclough. The death has been ruled an accidental drowning, and nothing on the surface indicates otherwise. But when Lindley enlists the help of his friends, Simon and Deborah at St. James, the trio's dating soon reveals that the Fairclough plan is awash in secrets, lies, and motives. As the investigation escalates, the family's veneer cracks with deception and self-delusion, threatening to destroy everyone from the patriarch to Tim, the troubled son left behind. And and here's another one, another Inspector Lindley novel. This is by Elizabeth George, Just One Evil Act. And this is also a large print one. So I got these at a library sale, and they had gotten a lot of large print books, and people had donated a bunch of large print books for it. Well, I'll read the blurb here. Detective Sergeant Barbara Havers is at a loss. The daughter of her friend, Taimula Azar, has been taken by her mother, and Barbara can't really help. Azar had never married Angelina, and his name isn't on Atiya's birth certificate. Then Angelina appears with shocking news. Uh, uh, Adia has been kidnapped in Italy. The Italian police are investigating, and the yard won't get involved until Barbara takes matters into her own hands. Her partner, Inspector Thomas Lindley, is dispatched to Italy, and Barbara and Lindley discover secrets that could have far-reaching effects. So that one sounds pretty good too. And okay. Okay, books by Ray Hurwitz, Tell No Lies. It's another large print. Got it at the same sale. Disappointing his old money San Francisco aristocrat mother, Daniel Brasher left a career as a money manager to marry a community organizer and work at a job he loves, leading group counseling sessions with recently paroled ex-cons. Daniel is about to move on and start a private practice when he finds a note in his department mailbox that was intended for someone else. Admit what you've done or you will be bleed for it. The deadline had passed. The person it was addressed to was brutally murdered, and this was only the beginning. Hmm. Okay, this one's by Brad Meltzer, The Zero Game. Nope, this one's not large print. Okay, the blurb is, want to play the world's most dangerous game? With New York Times bestsellers, The Millionaires, and the first console, Brad Meltzer captivated thriller readers with his breakthrough plotting unforgettable characters and razor-sharp dialogue. Now the acclaimed author returns to Washington, D.C., taking us behind closed doors and into the clandestine world of the Zero Game. Matthew Mercer and Harris Sandler are playing a mysterious game. It's a game almost no one knows about, not their friends nor their co-workers, and certainly not their bosses, who are some of the most powerful senators and congressmen on Capitol Hill. It's a game that has everything: risk, reward, mystery, and the thrill of knowing that just by being invited to play, you've confirmed your status as a true power broker in Washington. But as Matthew and Terrace quickly discovered, the Zero Game is hiding a secret so explosive that it will shake Washington to its core. And when someone close to them winds up dead, Harris and Matthew realize this game is far more sinister than they ever imagined. At the bullseye, as the bullseye turns their way, it's clearly not clear that they're about to become the game's next victims. Okay. Okay, here's another large print one. It's called American Outrage by Tim Green. And the blurb on it is Jake Carlson, a top tabloid journalist and correspondent for the TV news show American Outrage, is used to dragging himself into the dirt to get to the truth. Then his adopted son, Sam, asks him to use his investigative talents to find Sam's birth mother. Uh, Jake is stunned by the ugly secrets he uncovers, including a corrupt politician, the Albanian mafia, and a trafficking ring. Jake is galvanized by the career-making story until he and Sam become the victims of brutal violence and the targets of Jake's fellow reporters.
Okay.
Okay, this is Frank Peretti, Hangman's Curse. This is the first book in the Veritas Project. I know that this guy's books I know usually has religion in it some too. He said I know he's a Christian author, and okay, I'll read this blurb. The Veritas Project is a mysterious team cloaked in secret identities and classified assignments. When others are too frightened to dig any deeper, that's when this team of twin teens and their parents step in. Whether they're battling otherworldly forces or facing all too human issues like acceptance among high school peers, the Veritas Project is determined to get to the truth of the matter. In Hangman's Curse, the Veritas team is about to discover how the poisonous venom of hate and fear isn't just restricted to evil spirits. As they uncover the unthinkable secret behind the curse, you'll be stunned into seeing the events of your own past and future in a powerful new light. Okay, so that sounds like a middle grader IA. Yeah. Okay, found another. J.A. Jantz, a partner in crime. And the blurb on this is that a dead woman on a cold slab in the Arizona morgue was a talented artist recently arrived from the West Coast. Washington State Attorney General's office thinks that this investigation is too big for a small town female law officer to handle. So they're sending Sheriff Joanna Brady some unwanted help, a seasoned detective named Beaumont. Sheriff Brady resents his intrusion and Bisbee, Arizona, with its ghosts and memories uh, with its ghosts and memories, is the last place J.P. Beaumont wants to be. But the twisting desert road they must reluctantly travel together is leading them into a very deadly nest of rattlers. And if they hope to survive, suddenly trust is the only option they have left. Okay. I'm trying to see uh, now that any others said within my reach. Well, some of those that I showed you a couple of like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I can read some of them. Let me let me just look again here on the shelf. Maybe I can find. Okay. Okay. Here's one. The Network by Elsie Shaw. I think I might have gotten this like at Dollar Tree, but I could be wrong. And okay, and so on here. There's a shady group is manipulating society, and they've only just begun. Late one night, in his New York apartment, investigative journalist Jack Logan receives a surprise visit from U.S. Senator Malcolm Phillips. Disheveled and in a panic, the senator swears that he's about to be murdered, and he pleads with Jack to protect his wife, Taylor, who also happens to be the only woman Jack has ever truly loved. Uh, Days later, Phillips is found dead in a hotel room in Micronesia, the apparent victim of an allergy attack. The nation mourns. Jack and Taylor race to find the one man who knows the truth. As they're pursued by unknown assailants, their desperate hunt leads them to the Institute, uh, an immense facility shrouded in mystery that has indoctrinated a generation of America's political and media power players. Led by the enigmatic Damon Cross, the Institute has its tentacles everywhere, but Taylor unknowingly holds the secret to the one thing that Cross needs to carry out his plan. Taking readers on a thrill ride from the back hills of Congress to the high-rise offices of Madison Avenue and a remote Greek island, the network is a provocative, pulse-pounding novel that dares to ask the question, who's really in charge? Okay. This next one. This is Night Term from Adam Brooks. I think this might have been dollar might have been a Dollar Tree book, but I could be wrong there. And so, okay, on here, set in China and ripped from today's headlines, Night Terran is a pulse-pounding debut that reinvents a spy thriller for the 21st century by an author who has experienced it firsthand. And Alone and Peanut escapes a labor camp in the dead of night. Fleeing across the water doesn't desert north of West China. 2 decades earlier, he was a spy for the West, helping it must disappear on Beijing's aliens blanketed streets. Desperate and ruthless, he reaches out to his one-time paymasters via crusading journalist Philip Mangan, offering military secrets in return for extraction. But the secrets proved more valuable than anyone could have known, and for Mangan, they could be deadly. Okay, another book. This is The Russian Bride by Ed Kovacs. This blurb, so this one is: in the sensational world of counterintelligence, when Major Kip Bennings is forced to marry a Russian woman with mafia connections, his family and his life are in double jeopardy. Bennings is an elite military and intelligence agent working undercover in Moscow. When he is blackmailed and compromised by a brutal mafia don and former KGB general, he knows that his military career, if not his life, will soon be over. With little to lose, he goes rogue in the hope of saving his kidnapped sister and stopping a deadly scheme directed against America. Yelena Petkova is a gorgeous woman, a devoted mother, and Russian weapons engineer, and maybe more spy, maybe assassin. The shotgun marriage to a stranger, Kip Bennings takes her on a life and death hopscotch from Moscow to Los Angeles, from secret U.S. military bases to Las Vegas, where she uses her wiles at every turn for her own agenda. Hunted by killers from both Russia and the United States, Bennings must stop the mob's brilliant deception, a theft designed to go unnoticed that would make the mafia kingpin the richest man in the world, in order to save his family, his country, and himself. Kovacs' latest thriller goes deep into the heart of America's economic and intelligence institutions in a heart-pounding battle of life and death and deception. Okay, so well, since nobody has come on, I'll be ending this stream now. But I'll be back next week for the fourth and final one of the Mystery Madness midweek, midday live stream for 2026. So until then, take it easy and keep on reading.